Hey, good morning, everyone. I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to join us today. For the people that don't know who I am, my name is Malik, one of the annuity sales director over here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. And today I am also joined by Gary and Justin over at CL Life. And today I'm excited to let them go over some of the enhancements and changes they've made to their products, plus some sales strategies to help you guys close more cases. So before we get into all of that, we do have a few items that we are going to talk about. So as we go through the slides, be thinking of the clients you would like to see quotes for. And then at any time you guys have any questions, you guys can feel free to tap them into the question box here. And you guys don't have to wait until the end. So if at any time throughout the presentation you got a question, again, go ahead and pop that into the question box. We will get all of those answered for you as well. And so we also do have 3 poll questions here today. And so we would love your participation in those. And to start us off, so when you call over here at 800-255-5055, remember you're always going to get a live person. You never have to deal with a dial by name directory. And that's how we kick off our best in class customer service by answering that phone with somebody. And maybe it's the person that you're calling in for, but if not, they are going to get you transferred right over. All right, so moving on, a few reasons why agents love working with us. So starting off with our new producer builders. This program is for those who are new to IAMS. These bonuses are available based on your production level in the first 180 days of contracting with us. We have different levels that you can qualify for. As you guys can see inside each level are some great options for you. And then we have also got some incredible business building tools, personal perks for you, and even cash rewards available as well. I would, as you guys can see, the $1 million is the max level. So I would encourage you guys to max out on that level. But if you would like to know where you stand towards your new producer builder, or if you would like to have a conversation about how to achieve the next level, please give us a call. Again, at that number, 800-255-5055. All right, so another business builder program that we provide for our agents is our referred producer program. I do see a couple advisors on here with us today that have already taken advantage of this program. Our business on the wholesale side of the industry is similar to yours in the field in that one of the best leads that we can ever obtain is from a referral. Um, and and our business, and then maybe it's one of the and this is the way we want to make sure it's worth your while to refer a producer over to us. So when you refer a producer and they get contracted, we are going to cut you a $50 thank you check right off the bat, and that's where the real money kicks in. And then as your referral writes a piece of business, you're going to receive an override on that piece of business. So our ownership team, Charles, Steve, Curtis, and Chris, I can assure you they love writing thousands of dollars every quarter. And so if you can think of anyone that could benefit from doing business with our team, please type their information into that question box. So you could certainly or you could certainly email me with their information as well. Moving below is our marketing reimbursement program. This is the most popular program that we offer here at IAMS. For every $100,000 in FIA premium, which is about the average case, you're going to get $100 into your marketing reimbursement account. Why this is so popular and lucrative for our advisors is we truly do consider this to be your money. And you have the flexibility on what services and when and who to use these funds with. It is your marketing reimbursement. So we don't tell you what vendors that you have to use, but we will recommend vendors that we partnered with and leverage to reduce those rates and preferred services for you guys. We also have our creative team here to create a marketing strategies and provide in-house services. With all the market volatility and the unpredictable market in the insurance space, it's a great way to create a marketing plan for 2026. And so if you'd like to know how much is in your marketing reimbursement account or have a conversation about how to utilize it, just give myself or your sales director a call here at our office, and we will love to speak with you about that. All right, so our back office support team is another way we add value to your business. So this is the core of IAMS and how Charles Hiring founded IAMS many years ago, since 1986. So we want to help independent advisors work smarter, not harder, and we are going to do that with our great business building tools and resources, and of course, our advanced case design assistance as well. We do assist with life and annuity quotes as well, so we are going to get those illustrations that you guys request within 24 hours. And if it's super urgent, I try to get those back to you within really 30 minutes. Submission to commission support is handled by our new business team. So just a quick heads up, Mackenzie is on our annuity side and Michelle is on the life insurance side. So they do have fantastic teams who work day in and day out to get those commissions to you guys much quicker and faster. And then we are going to scrub those applications and submit those on your behalf and do all the administrative tracking that and get you those updates on those cases as needed. We do this to ensure you get the commissions as quickly as possible, and this is a service that we provide to all of our valued producers, and it is a way to help you grow your business by keeping you in front of clients while our team, takes a lot of that, back end support off your plate. All right, so our IAMS website is another great tool for our producers. So this is another reason why many of our valued producers love working with us. So once you are contracted, you are going to have full access to everything you see on this slide. There's so much more at IAMSinc.com. So if you haven't registered for our website, it is very simple to do so, and I will be more than happy to walk you guys through that if you need help. When we're done with all of this, I would encourage you guys to create an account. We would love to see you on there, and there's a lot of great resources that are available to you, including illustration tools, online forums, product grids, news, and plus the latest trends and industry updates that you guys are going to see and what to expect from 2026. So it's another great way to helping you grow your business. So our eApp solutions, so technology is where the industry is going. So our Luma is our newest partnership to streamline those application process. So most of our carriers are now on Luma Firelight e-platform. So you can go on one site to submit all of your business. Some carriers are going to have eApp only, and for some of their product lines, and will also offer extra comp for utilizing the eApp platform. So if you haven't transitioned over to the eApp, as we all know, technology is advancing and expected to take over the next 5-10 years. I would encourage you guys to jump on it sooner than later. And make sure you ask myself or one of the sales director before you guys submit a paper app, because you can also earn extra money by just completing it, completing the eApp and submitting it as well. We are on Luma, Firelight, iPipeline, and Sunfire, just for those that don't know. And moving on, we do have a full in-house creative team to help your business. So we have turnkey items available out there for you. Many of our sales resources are white label, so we can simply post your contact information and your business logos onto it. And speaking of your logos, if you haven't created a full customized brand for you and your agency, we can certainly help with that through agency solutions and name recognition that will grow your natural market organically. We also do a lot of digital marketing, advertising, and that is a very popular topic around here at IAMS, and whether industry is taking over. We can help you with the websites, social media marketing, and email marketing, and much more, as you guys can see on the slide. And then the internet and social media sites is where the overwhelming majority of prospects go to for information. So making sure you are accessible and representative in those marketing lanes is very beneficial to growing your business. And you can also reach out to me when this webinar concludes and to talk about how you can access the IMS Creative, and we can certainly get that ball rolling for you guys as well. All right, so moving on is our creative services. So we also offer a complimentary marketing analysis for agents looking to explore new sales ideas and programs. Whether you're new to the industry or just a seasoned producer, this is a free assessment, so it can help you boost your business with insights on what your website, your digital presence, and branding, and all your extra current marketing activities, as well as recommendations on trusted vendors for everything from lead generations to seminar and social content. Reach out to myself and we can definitely customize a marketing plan going into 2026. I know we're 2 months into the year, so it's not too late to get going on that marketing plan. All right, so our IMS Wealth Management, something we're continuing to see a lot of growth on is our sister company. So called the IMS Wealth Management. It's a SEC registered RIA. So anywhere in the country, if you're an investment advisor or you're considering becoming one, give us a call. It's a growing part of our industry and gives you an opportunity to be a holistic advisor and not just an insurance advisor. And so our Life and Annuity Academy. So this is another big thing we do a ton of training on and an education around. So we're doing 300 webinars a year. There's about over 1,600 on our IMS YouTube channel right now, from cybersecurity to carrier products and focusing on marketing sales ideas. We do think it's important to get people to live training events. And so many of our competitors and carriers don't do that anymore, but we do have a very in-depth, intensive producer academy opportunity for you guys, which is really a great opportunity to get you in front of and hear from top multi-million-dollar keynote speakers and hear from some of the best sales marketing programs in the industry out there. We don't have our first one. We do have our first one coming out soon. There's not a set day on that, but if you guys are interested, uh, reach out to me once this webinar concludes, and I'm sure we can get you guys more information on that as well. All right, so of course, we have a ton of great incentive opportunities. I believe we're doing 3. We're the only IMO that is doing that many a year. As you can see, this is the first one out in Beachy Keen. Athene is the one hosting it. It's from March. I believe this one already concluded. The dates on this one is out in the Capcana in the DR, the Dominican Republic, from March 22nd through the 25th. We have another one, called our Peak Producer Summit in Park City, Utah. This one is from August 2nd through the 5th of 2026. So another one that is coming up here soon. The qualification on this one is $2 million paid in SILAC FIA. So that's around 15 to 20 cases if they range around $100,000 a case. So that's not that much premium, as we all know, and that qualification period is from May 1st, 2025 to April 30th, 2026. So you guys do have a few more months left here in the year. So I would encourage you guys to submit as much FIA business as you can. And then last but not least is our newest one, which is out in Nassau, the Bahamas. And this one is from, the qualifications is from July 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2026. You do need $6 million point or 6 million points to qualify, or $6 million in FIA business. And that will run, and the trip dates on that will run from February 27th all the way to March 4th, 2027. So you guys still have time on that one. And finally, we have our great social media presence. So we are out there on Facebook and LinkedIn. There's a lot of great content ideas that we circulate around there. And I would encourage you guys to like us and follow us. And now that I am going to pass it over to Justin over at CL Life, and I'll let him take over. Thank you guys. All right, Justin, I did pass that over, so you should be all set.
All right, Malik, can you hear me?
I can. You are all good to go.
Okay, and you can see the presentation up there. Awesome.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, hey, thanks, Malik. I'll go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Justin Merritt. I'm with CL Life and Annuity. I'm a regional sales manager here. I'm joined on the call by Gary Sorensen. He's our director of sales and marketing. And hey, we want to start out by saying thank you so very much for including us on your call today. You know, we consider IAMS one of our core distribution partners here. So today I'm going to hopefully provide you with some insight and perspective on building more certainty into a traditional portfolio. And what we're going to do is take a look at a traditional portfolio from a high level. We're going to look at the role that a MYGA can play in asset allocation. We're going to go over some quick highlights with some of our unique product and features towards the end here. And then we're going to finish up with a little bit on the CL Life story so you can become more familiar with CL Life. But let's go ahead and start with that traditional portfolio. And again, from a very high level, what we're doing when we build a traditional portfolio, we're setting up an asset allocation model that's risk-based for the client between equities, stocks, and then bonds. What we look for from the equity side is it's really going to be the growth engine of the portfolio, right? The inflation hedge, but with that comes high volatility. So what we do is we use bonds as kind of that counterbalance, less volatility, add low correlation, portfolio diversification, and just really conservative growth to that portfolio. From equities, when we look to measuring equities, we'll typically go to a very familiar index, the S&P 500 index. And as you can see, over the last 10 years, equities, stocks have really provided that capital appreciation, that growth side to the portfolio. Absolutely done their job. Okay, well, what about bonds? Well, when we look at bond metrics and we evaluate bonds, we look to the US aggregate bond index. It's become the industry standard for bond evaluation, right? So the question is, how have bonds done? Well, from a growth standpoint, let's look at the last 10 years. The annualized return is about 2%. So bonds have really contributed very little from a growth standpoint to that traditional portfolio over the last decade. Well, what about stability? 2015, 2018, essentially flat. Okay, 2022, 2021, we saw 2 consecutive negative years in a row in the bond market, including being down double digits in 2022. A lot of customers are just now getting back up to par from the events of those 2 years. So again, bonds have provided very little contribution from a growth standpoint and very little contribution from a stability standpoint to that overall traditional portfolio over the last decade. So the question is there an alternative? Well, many of you are probably familiar with the study with Robert Ibbotson did back in 2018, did a white paper. Essentially, it looked at FIAs through the lens of asset allocation as an alternative for bonds in a traditional portfolio. And he came up with a couple things. Number one, having an FIA as a bond alternative could reduce your overall portfolio risk, especially with no downside, right? And then number two, it can provide an opportunity for enhanced returns. Well, that sounds great, but as we know, client needs are situational. Not every situation is going to be appropriate for a fixed index annuity. So what's an alternative to a fixed index annuity? Well, that begs us with the question, well, what about a MYGA? Might a MYGA be a good use as a bond alternative in an overall traditional portfolio? Well, let's consider the bond. or let's consider the MYGA versus the fixed index annuity. And again, client needs are situational. And as we evaluate a client's situation, time frame is one of the main things that we look at, right? So a customer who has between 1 and 5 years before they're going to need access and start utilizing their money, a MYGA might be more suitable for that customer. We can still find great rates, competitive rates within that 2 to 5 year time frame. And we know that MYGAs are really geared more for the long term. You're going to find those most competitive crediting rates probably around that 10-year mark, right? And then we look at really the mindset of the customer. We know some customers are really risk adverse, ultra conservative. They're going to value certainty over opportunity. So with a MYGA, from a certainty standpoint, we know it's a guaranteed fixed rates, it's a daily compounded interest, something that's predictable. They would likely accept that versus more opportunity on some sort of index-based performance. From a renewal rate standpoint, again, it's that guaranteed rate, that predictable rate for that guaranteed term versus a product where the insurance carrier can actually change or lower those renewal rates. Let's kind of flip and look at a MYGA versus a bond. And again, it goes back to certainty. Customers may look at guaranteed interest rates, predictable growth without downside risk in a MYGA versus bonds or bond funds where you have a daily price change. You have the opportunity for downside or lose money, and then you can look at a period of underperformance like we've had over the last 10 years. So again, the certainty comes in with the MYGA. So let's take a little deeper dive on that and look at, again, building some certainty into a portfolio. Let's get 3 portfolios here. Portfolio A is really that traditional portfolio that we've been discussing. It's half bonds, half stocks, represented by the indexes that we spoke about here earlier. And then the thing to point out here, and this is just a visual for illustration purposes, right? Again, bonds have contributed very little from a growth standpoint, very little from a stability standpoint to an overall traditional portfolio. Well, what might be an alternative? Yes, we can utilize an FIA or portfolio B here. What if we use a MYGA as that bond alternative or a series of MYGA ladders? So what we see here is half of our portfolio is in a MYGA, half of it is in the S&P 500 index in equities. So what are we accomplishing with this portfolio? Well, we've brought that certainty to this portfolio. We have conservative growth, more growth contribution, and we've added stability with no downside. So, and again, client needs are situational, right? So it may not be appropriate to replace somebody's entire bond lineup with a series of MYGAs. So portfolio C, let's look at a blended portfolio here, where we still have our same values, but what we're doing is 25% allocation to MYGAs, 25% to bonds, and still 50% to that S&P 500 stock index. So again, what we've accomplished here, we've still beat out portfolio A from a performance standpoint, and then we've still added stability to the portfolio with an asset class where we can't lose. So again, certainty, stability, growth contribution. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pivot to our MYGA and some of the quick highlights of our product lineup. So our MYGA is called the CL Sundance. We're currently offering it in a 2-year, 3-year, and a 5-year term. So we're currently offering very competitive rates and very competitive agent compensation, but without having to sacrifice any of the features and benefits of our product. So we offer a free withdrawal. after 30 days after contract issue, and the death benefit is contract value on the owner's death. So we know where some of our competitors also have competitive rates, but what they do is they restrict liquidity and they'll apply the surrender charge towards the death benefit. We don't do that. We don't sacrifice our features and benefits for competitive rates and competitive comp. I want to shift over to what I think is becoming one of our quickly becoming our flagship product here at CL Life. So we call it the CL Tarrant Trail. So it's a single premium deferred fixed annuity, and it's often referred to as a bailout product. Currently offering it for a 6-year surrender charge period. Again, competitive rates, competitive agent compensation, and how it works from an interest crediting standpoint. So the first year is a guaranteed interest rate, and that rate will have a crediting bonus on top of it. So it's going to be a larger rate that first year. Okay, the following contract years, CL Life is going to issue a declared renewal interest rate prior to the contract anniversary, telling the customer what their crediting is going to be for that upcoming year. So with the bailout component of this, the bailout rate is set at issue. And how it works is if we declare a renewal rate that is less than the bailout interest rate, it's going to open up a 30-day window where the customer can walk away from the contract without penalty. And let me show you really quick how that works. So here's an example, 100,000 premium. We're going to use 7% as that initial guaranteed interest rate. And then our bailout interest rate, again, it's set at contract issue. Here's going to, in this example, is 5%. I'm going to highlight that with the orange line here. So in year one, again, it's a guaranteed interest rate. Example here, 7%. So the customer receives that bonus interest credits of 7% the first year. And prior to that contract anniversary, CL Life is going to send a notification to the owner, letting them know what the renewal interest rate is going to be for the upcoming year. In this case, it's 5%. It's at the bailout rate. It doesn't open up any window. So what happens is the customer is going to receive that 5% interest credit for their second year. Okay, and again, prior to the contract anniversary, the owner will be notified of that renewal interest rate. So in this example, 4% is lower than the bailout rate. So what's going to happen? It's going to open up a 30-day bailout window for the owner. During that 30-day window, the owners can take a full surrender with no surrender charge, no MBA, just walk away from the contract. They could also take a partial withdrawal, no surrender, no MBA. Or they can elect just to do nothing during that window and continue the contract, in which case they'll get that 4% interest credit. And again, it continues each contract year, they'll be notified of their declared interest rate. So it's a 6-year surrender period product. So into that 7th year, the product becomes completely liquid. There's no surrender charge. There's no MBA that's going to be applied to the contract. They'll still get an annual renewal rate, but again, the contract going forward into the 7th year is going to be completely liquid. And again, we are getting a ton of traction with this product. Customers like that first year bonus rate. They love the opportunity, the flexibility to walk away if they needed to walk away from it. So again, a lot of traction here. With CL Life, with our product lineup, we ask that agents and our distribution partners are cognitive of our state approval map. So we are still a growing company. We're currently in 26 states, kind of in that core part of the U.S., central part of the U.S., right? We do have an initiative to add states, and there's some states that our partners definitely want to see, and we're working on that as we speak. So this map is on the CL Life cllife.com website. When we do have a state added, it will be updated immediately, so stay tuned. But again, we're currently at 26 states, a lot of the core states there. So just be cognitive of that as you're working with us at CL Life. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring in Gary. I want him to, he's going to share a little bit with you about the CL Life story.
Perfect. Thank you, Justin. So CL Life was originally founded in 1978. It was a bank-owned life insurance company called Colonial Life Bank of Texas, is what the original company was known as. They did credit life and term insurance. Back in 2019, Crestline Management, our holding company, purchased the company from Colonial Life and renamed it CL Life. And ironically, Crestline and Colonial Life both are CL, so that's where we got CL Life. I know we get that question quite often. We're executive officer based in Fort Worth, Texas. Ironically, the photo on the screen is actually at Sundance Square in downtown Fort Worth, Texas. So little insider information: Sundance MYGA, Sundance Square, Fort Worth, Texas. There's a tie together. So we try to bring some of our roots into our products and who we are. Our management company, our asset management company, again, is called Crestline Management. They're a global asset manager. They have offices not only in the US, but also in England and Japan and other European countries. So they manage money. They manage approximately about $20 billion of assets. They also, of that $20 billion of assets, they manage about $1 billion of assets for other insurance carriers, some well-known carriers that you're probably aware of, Pac Life, American National, North American. So they actually have been in the insurance business for a while and decided to get into the game as an asset manager and build a portfolio of annuities because they feel they can provide a better return for your policyholders than other companies that are not asset managers. Go ahead and flip the slide, Justin. So again, the company was primarily focused on term life and credit life originally. When Crestline purchased the company, it was an empty shell, which means there was no business in it whatsoever. And so as we grow our business, you'll continue to see kind of our assets grow. Here on the screen, you can see, our RBC ratio is a 437. You can see kind of the allocations of the types of assets that we do. And we're in constant contact with the Department of Insurance in order to make sure that we're meeting all the criteria that we need to be able to, make sure that we're there for your policyholders. We are rated B++ with AM Best and KBRA, another rating agency. We're rated A-. We're rated stable with both of those companies. So we, as we build our company, we don't have a war chest that we have to bring along. We're growing our business in today's market, which is definitely an advantage in regards to how we design our products and how we do the things we do. We take a lot of pride in being nimble and having competitive products and putting ourselves out there. Justin, I'll turn it back over to you.
Okay, thanks, Gary. Yeah, so just really to sum up, again, IAMS is one of our core distribution partners. We really depend and partner with top level IMOs, and we use those as our distribution model. So our sales team is currently just Gary and I. So anything that you might need from a contracting standpoint, from an application standpoint, from a marketing standpoint, we're really the go-to folks for that. There's our contact information. Please let us know where we can help, where we can partner. But I guess that is all Malik, that's all we would have today. If you'd like to take it back over, I think Gary and I are happy to answer any questions that we may have.
Yeah, thank you, Justin and Gary. I just have a few poll questions here real quick, and then I'm gonna launch it. I'll give you guys 30 seconds to answer. Would you like access to proven CL Life, FIA, and MYGA strategies advisors are using right now to grow annuity production today, today's market? So yes or no. I'll give you guys 20 more seconds there. All right, and then I do have another one here. So, all right. So, would you guys like to learn proven marketing strategies from IMS to help you guys grow your business for 2026? And then I'll give you guys 20 seconds. Yes or no? All right. Awesome. Does anybody have any last minute questions before we conclude the webinar? And you feel free to type them in that question box as well. Okay, perfect. Well, I appreciate everybody joining today's webinar. Until next time, thank you again, Gary and Justin, and I hope everyone has a great week.